talk about Jennifer Hudson's latest viral video of interviewing Eddie Murphy. And y'all let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this whole situation. Because, baby, it's a lot to unpack. Let's get into it.
Are you going to sing at your son's? Wait, it's your daughter's wedding, right?
My son and they got married like 2 weeks ago. They went off. Everybody was making the big wedding plans, and then they decided they wanted to do something quiet with just the two of them, and then they got married, and now Martin don't got to pay for a big
in-laws
wedding.
now. You and Martin are in-laws.
Yeah, we're in-laws. He don't have to pay for the big wedding now.
Did you sing for the wedding, Eddie?
No, I didn't. They didn't have a wedding.
Oh, no?
No, they went off and they got married at the church. They just had the two of them and the preacher. They had a little quiet. Look at it, a little quiet little thing.
Oh, that's
So I think we'll have like a big party or something.
And then
they ran off and got married.
Okay, will you sing then?
Will I sing at the wedding?
Yeah.
No, I ain't singing.
No.
So this is my personal opinion of Jennifer Hudson's interviewing Eddie Murphy. I think in a journalistic perspective, that was the worst interview. But if I see it as a regular person, it's just a person not listening, which makes it viral and which makes it relatable. And I'm going to explain why. So for those of you guys that don't know, I do have a degree in journalism. So I can talk about this in a journalistic perspective. I do like Jennifer Hudson, but I feel like she is the definition that everybody can't do everything. And she is a prime example of one or many few celebrities that have these talk shows, but they're missing the key ingredients to keep the engagement and to make their guests welcome. I'm gonna explain. As a host, journalist, reporter, how are you going to ask if it's your son or daughter getting married? Like, those are things that you should know before you get on air, before you get on set. Your producers or whoever is in charge of your guests and who's to come and give you a list of questions. So that was mistake number one that I noticed. What I would have done, I wouldn't even ask if it was a son or daughter. I would have asked, how do you feel, your child is now married and they're entering this new chapter? Because as we all know, you have been through marriage and divorce and raising kids. Did you give your son any advice? Do you know if Martin gave his daughter any advice? Because you guys have both been in marriages. That's what I would have said. That's what I would have done. But that's just me. The second thing that I noticed that Jennifer Hudson did, that was another mistake that made this look like a bad interview, was Murphy kept telling her that he did not sing at the wedding. Jennifer Hudson kept replying with, "Oh, so how was the wedding? Did you sing at the wedding? Will you ever sing at the wedding?" Now, if she would have listened to what Eddie Murphy said the first time, he said it was a private ceremony and they might possibly do a party. So, for those of y'all that don't know, Eddie Murphy is an actor, a singer, and a comedian. But he hasn't really recently put out any music since the 80s. But for her to keep harping on music, and he said that they already got married, they already did the ceremony, me and Martin just did a little something for them, and that's it. So that shows me, as somebody that graduated with journalism, seeing it from a journalistic perspective, you're not listening to your guests. And then you can tell by Eddie Murphy's body language, if you noticed in the video, that he was getting uncomfortable. So instead of him, because his voice changed octaves, because he was calm, then he started to get frustrated. So instead of him showing his anger towards Jennifer, he just laughed it off. Because he didn't want to show that anger, but you can tell by his face and his body language that he was getting annoyed and he wanted to move on to something else. So from that perspective, and my suggestions, if Jennifer Hudson or the Jennifer Hudson crew ever sees this video, is I would make sure that you know your guests, you have a list of questions, you have an earpiece so you can coach Jennifer on what to say and what to do, because it looks bad. But then it also looks good because people on social medias are reacting to this, and people that are on her team for the Jennifer Hudson Show can review videos and hear from audiences their perspective. So if somebody is looking at videos and searching in keywords about Jennifer Hudson's reaction to Eddie Murphy's interview. It could be a learning experience of, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing it. Or maybe she was nervous. It could be a lot of things of why she did what she did. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not even mad at Jennifer for doing what she did, because for one, she's not a journalist, she's a celebrity. And I think a lot of people have these high expectations because they have a platform of a talk show or a radio show, but no experience in radio or TV or broadcast. You want them to deliver like a Wendy Williams. For those of y'all that don't know, before Wendy Williams was on TV, Wendy Williams had a radio show. So she had the practice. Before her face was seen, she was on radio. She talked to people. She did interviews with celebrities. And whether y'all want to like her or not, she did her job. And she got the ratings. And because Wendy Williams did what she was known of doing, that's what earned her her spot to get on TV. And she had the best ratings until she had her medical episode. That's why Tamron Hall, she was a journalist before she was a television host. That's why she's good at her job. Sherry Shepherd, no, she's not a journalism graduate. She is not in that field. She's a comedian, but she talks to her guests like it's a conversation. And that's what a good interview is, when you see these podcasts when they're interviewing your favorite celebrity or your influencer, and you can tell if you watch body language and see how they interact. You can tell with facial expressions, the tone of voice, which I've learned in journalism school. So I can tell how the interview is going to go. But maybe the next guest, or if they have a little team meeting about the situation, like, y'all do the research, think of 4 or 5 questions, have somebody in her ear, like maybe do, like, if the guest comes early, these are a list of questions that we want to ask you. Are you comfortable with me asking these questions? If you're not comfortable with me asking these questions, we won't do it out of respect. That's just my personal opinion. Or even a suggestion that she can do is maybe one of her segments, she goes to a HBCU or a journalism school, gets a student that's about to graduate, that's a senior or even a junior, and have them be a host for the day. Like, she's the host, they're the co-host, and they're interacting with celebrities. So that way it's a win-win. Like, she's looking good in the community of having somebody, whether they're from an HBCU or just a journalism school in general. She's giving somebody work experience, hands-on experience, or even if her shows offers that, behind the scenes of, this is how we prep for a show. And that gives the audience a perspective of, this is how we do the show, a prep before the show, before we go live on air. We interact with audiences. We talk to our guests. We have little fun in between commercial breaks. Those are just my suggestions, but y'all let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this situation. Do you guys think that Jennifer Hudson should go to some journalism classes? Do you think she should reach out to journalism colleges to have students be a co-host for the day? Or do you guys just think that she should just stick to singing and acting? Let's get into it.